Good morning. Yeah, welcome to my Tuesday video. It's St. Patrick's Day. Happy St. Patrick's Day to everyone. Hopefully, you are coming up with some fun activities to do with your family today for St. Patrick's Day, as we're all stuck inside our houses um, and whatnot. Our girls made a leprechaun house this week to try to catch a leprechaun last night, and unfortunately, their plan failed. The leprechaun was able to escape, but they left him some treats, which was cool. And they also, the little rascal, changed our milk to bright green. So we have green milk now for the next couple of days. My joke this morning, my daily joke of the day, is St. Patrick's Day themed. Um, it deals with St. Patrick's Day. If you know anything about St. Patrick's Day, those that don't, it comes from a country called Ireland, which is over on the other side of the world. And Ireland is where, if you eat, go to an Irish restaurant, you'll almost on every meal you'll find potatoes. So my joke kind of deals with potatoes in Ireland. So it goes like this: how do you know if your potatoes are not from Ireland? When they are French fries, because French people are from France. So, a little geography and a little bit of history to go along with background with regards to our joke today. So, you got your assignments yesterday, and I hope everyone is working diligently at getting your assignments done. I'm just going to go through each grade like I did yesterday and discuss everyone's what you should be working on today. Kindergarten. So you guys are today. You're working with your nickels. You're working with nickels, and we've been doing that the last couple of weeks. We know that nickels are 5 cents. So we were really going to be working at making sure that we write the 5 cents like that with the cents sign, and then also counting by fives. So there's going to be a bunch of sheets or nickels, and you're going to have to match how much money each one is worth by how many nickels there are in that row. So it'll be something very similar to this. If we have one nickel, you have 5 cents. Two is 10. Three is 15. Four is 20. Five is 25. So remember, coming by fives: 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. And that's, we've worked with that a couple of times over the last couple of weeks. Shouldn't be too hard. Just remembering exactly how to count by fives and the like. On the back side of your sheet, we are writing all of our numbers from 1 to 20. Now, some of them, they give you the numbers, some of them you have to fill in the blank. So we'll say like 1, 2, blank, 3, or 1, 2, blank, 4, 5, and you have to write a 3. Make sure your numbers are in the right order. Make sure they're written the right way and they're not written backwards or anything like that. Also, the other thing I'd like you to just kind of know is this is the new letter that we're going to be starting tomorrow. It's the letter U. And U makes the sound like we would use when it's raining, like it's kind of drizzling outside this morning. You use a umbrella, which starts with the letter U. So U makes the sound. And the reason we're using the letter U is with our super kids, we're talking about, done all of our super kids. So we're talking about us, all of us as a group. And we're going to be looking at that in our super kids book and going through the letter U and the like. Tomorrow we're also going to look at the word the. The is a crazy word because TH, E, T, T, H, E, E. But when you put those letters together, it doesn't get the word the. It's one of those words that you just got to learn. So we'll go over that a little bit more tomorrow. First grade, you in math today, you're doing an assessment. So these are two worksheets. One's a fact assessment 12 and the other one's assessment 17. These sheets aren't right next to each other in their workbook, so you have to flip through, and there's only one side on each. These are just kind of like review sheets, kind of like it says, an assessment, kind of like a mini test. Just to, they know exactly what those problems look like. And I looked over the assignments. I don't think there's anything on there that they shouldn't be able to get through. Today on phonics, sorry, I wrote the wrong description. I wrote the second grade description of phonics on that page, but the page itself is right. We're on page 153 through 154. But instead of working with the ow sound, that would have been second graders. You're working with the letter U too, just like the kindergartners. We've been working with that for a while. On the one page, you have to read both sentences and write the sentence that matches with the picture on the line. Make sure your sentence starts with capital letter, good spacing between your words, end it with a period. On the back side, you got to read the story and you have to underline all the words that have the sound in it. So make sure you're real careful at finding all of them and underlining them. Read it very carefully because tomorrow's assignment you'll have some questions about that story. So read it very carefully, maybe even read it aloud to mom or dad. That should be enough about it for first grade. Second graders, today in math, there are 2 sheets. Today what you're going to be doing is taking a look at a number in math. So if I had, we did this a little bit last week, if I had 24 cents, okay, if I had 24 cents, how many dimes and how many pennies make up 24 cents? So you got to look at both numbers. And remember, last week we said the first number tells us the dimes and the second number tells us the pennies. So there are, in 24 cents, since the 2, there would be 2 dimes and there's 4 pennies. All right. So it's real important that you remember that concept, because today, and I think in what part of your assignment, they say, all right, what if I had 3 dimes and 7 pennies? How much money would that be? Well, 3 dimes goes first, and then 7 goes behind it. 3, 7, 37 cents. So be very careful with that. Like I said, we've worked a little bit out already with that. Also, don't forget expanded form. If you forget about how to do it, expanded form. I think there was one problem on there today. So if you have the number 347, you take the first number and you add zeros behind it. So 3 with 2 zeros, 300, plus you take the next number, which is a 4. We put a 4 and we make a 0, which is 40. And then the only number left is 7. So 347, you make it into an expanded problem, 300 plus 40 plus 7. So just a reminder to work on that and be very careful with that. Make sure you do both pages for math as well. For your language today is a review section. So you're on page 160 and 161, 1 through 20. You don't have to do part F there. You need to write out the sentences for part A and for part C. And follow the directions exactly how they say. Everything that you've done in the last week, two or 3 weeks, is on this review section here. So just a quick review. It shouldn't take you that long. This is for second grade language, which also includes Rodney. So please, Rodney, make sure you do that as well. All right. Third grade. We're on to third grade. Today what we're going to do in math is a new concept. First off, Lesson 78, you can skip number 20. You don't have to do it. It talks about writing directions. You don't have to do that problem. But today's assignment is going to look something like this. You're multiplying by multiples of 10. So if I said 20 times 10. Now you take that problem and you switch it to write it vertically, 20 times 10. But I'm going to show you a little trick. Because notice when I rewrote it vertically, I have my 0 kind of floating off to the end here. We're not going to worry about that 0. We're going to go right into the 1. So 1 times 4 is 4. And then 2 times 1 is 2. And then I'm going to add a 0. Then I add that 0. I bring that 0 down at the very, very end. So everyone see how I did that? I said 1 times 4, 4. 2 times 1, 2. And then I just put the 0 right behind it. So 24 times 10. 240. All right. So we're going to be doing problems that are very similar to that this morning. Let me grab my book here to make sure I'm not missing any other ones with regards to your assignments today. Another one that you're going to be doing, I'm not going to get too deep into this, is let's do one more multiple of 10. So if I said 4 times 30. Okay. So 4 times 30. So I would take my first 2 numbers, and I'd say 4 times 3. Because remember, we're not going to worry about the 0. And we know 4 times 3 is 12. And then What do we have to do with the 0? We put it at the back. So your answer is 120. Let's try one more. If I said 8 times 30. So I have 8 times 30. So what two numbers would be multiplied together first? 8 times 3. Okay, 8 times 3 is 24. And then what do we need to put at the end? Of course, the 0. So your answer is 240. All right, hope that makes sense. Looking at your assignment today, there's nothing that's too tricky, I don't see. It looks like it's going to be fairly normal stuff today with regards to your assignment. Nothing that you guys can't figure out. Remember, on these problems, if you are stuck on them, if you look underneath the problem, I'll tell you what lesson to go back and check out to get some extra help. Don't forget, on like number 7, it says, what's the perimeter? Remember, perimeter means add all the sides up. For 6D, it says area. That means multiply to the 2 sides. I think everything else there should be fairly simple, should be fairly normal. So if you have any questions, though, please feel free to get in contact with me and let me know. Then with regards to language, language class for the 3rd and 4th graders, and Dylan and Javon. Today what we're going to be taking a look at is adverbs. This is the start of a new story or new thing. Adverbs, these are words that describe verbs. And if you don't remember what a verb is an action word. So if I said, I ran quickly to the store, the verb is ran, because that's the action. But how did I run? I ran quickly. Quickly is the adverb that describes how I ran. Okay. If I said, I ate hungrily my dinner, the verb is ate. And how did I eat? Hungrily. Cameron painted messily. No, messily is not really a good word. Beautifully, the picture for her mother. What did she do? She painted. That's the verb. And how did she paint? Beautifully. So what you're going to be doing on your assignment today is this. You're going to be taking a look at those assignments, and you are going to have to go through, and for part A and B, A, you only write the adverb. So you find the verb, and you write only the adverb that it describes. So they already gave you, they made it pretty easy. They underlined that verb in those first few problems, and you got to tell me which one does it describe. So like number 4, the race began. Began's the verb. How did they begin? Quietly. So quietly you'd write on your paper. There you go. I gave you the first answer. Part B, you're going to have to what did I put here? You're going to have to write the adverb first on your paper, and behind it, write the verb that it describes. So like for the first, you'd write quietly slept, because that's the verb. So the verb comes second. And then part C, you're going to rewrite the sentence and add your own adverb. Now, if you notice a trick, adverbs usually end in ly, so be careful of that. That will give you a little clue there of how to know which one's the adverb. Look for those words that end in ly. That'll give you a big monster clue there. 4th grade math lesson today, Mr. Wasser. If you have any questions, get into contact with him. Today, I'm going to start a new thing this afternoon, maybe around 4 or 5 o'clock. I'm going to post another video, and on that video, I'm going to be reading our daily devotion, or going over our Christ-Light story that we normally would be doing on this day, and also reading a chapter from our story that we've been reading. We've been doing and read aloud A Little House on the Prairie book, and that way, gives you something else that you can partake in. You can reach out and have your kids sit down this evening and listen to the devotion and listen to the read aloud story. I may even have some guest readers, so that'll be done in the afternoons every single day. But something to kind of look forward to. The story that we're reading is super fun, and I'm hoping that we can continue doing that, even if it's just done via video. Other than that, I will not be available this morning from about 10 o'clock till hopefully only like 11 or so. I have a dentist appointment. I need to get in and get a filling fixed. I'm not a big fan of the dentist, but I'm sure everything will be great, and I'll get my teeth all fixed up before if anyone else has to, or hopefully they won't have to close. But I pray that everyone's doing well. Again, I encourage you, if there's any questions, please feel free to get in contact with me. I am here to help as much as and as little as I possibly can. I will answer any questions that I can as best as I can, and we'll kind of keep moving forward. So I pray everyone has a great day today. Enjoy St. Patrick's Day and enjoy your family time with each other, and have some corned beef and cabbage and potatoes if that's what you're having. That's what we're having at our house this evening, and yeah, we'll continue moving forward and put our trust in God and know that He's in control. Have a great day. See you guys. Bye.